Hi, I'm Dan,
And I'm John.
and together we're
Pokrates.
Pokrates. We're just two trainers engaged in the Pokemon world, and also to each other in real life. This is Lilo, our French Bulldog. You'll probably see her coming in and out.
So we created Pokrates as a place where we can share our theories, our thoughts, and insights into the Pokemon world. I'm a writer for PokeJungle. I wrote a theory based on data from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that actually can be used to suggest some new Galarian forms.
It's really interesting, and it's been pretty accurate so far.
So far, it's actually been able to predict Weezing, Ponyta, Surfetch'd, and Zigzagoon. If you're not familiar with my theory, it has to do with egg moves that were added to Pokemon between Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. These egg moves were given to Pokemon who were not even capturable in Generation 7.
So you can check out the link to John's article in the description box below for more in-depth detail. But John's gonna kind of talk about his theory a little bit.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do in this video was kind of talk about the theory, but really just talk about what I think is more possible when you look at the theory. The theory just gives you all Pokemon who were not in Alola who received egg moves, and it doesn't really put any weight on what generation the Pokemon are from. And I think that what we saw in Alola was that a lot of Pokemon, honestly, every Pokemon who got a new form was from Kanto. Every single Pokemon who got an Alola form was from Generation 1. And going into Galar with Sword and Shield, a lot of us were wondering, are we going to get Galarian forms? And when we did, we immediately were shown Hone Pokemon got Galarian forms, which was new. So what I want to do in this video is just lay out which Pokemon could be getting Galarian forms, and we can even speculate as to what types we would want to see and what we can be excited about for November 15th next month. So what I want to do is go generation by generation, region by region. Starting with Kanto, the Pokemon who got egg moves, who are not in Alola, include Bellsprout, Oddish, Tangela. Those are the only three. So Bellsprout, Tangela, and Oddish. Bellsprout and Oddish both got Strength Sap, which, okay, it's a new move for Generation 7. Is it really that unique of an egg move to get?
I mean, I would love to see both of those Pokemon in region. I feel like they could both use a boost. I would love to see a Grass and Fire typing. I think Galarian Bellossom would be awesome to see as a Grass Fire type. I know we already saw Vileplume in its original form, so I don't think that we'll probably get that. But I still think
I don't know that we've seen Oddish or Gloom.
I don't think we
I would assume, though, if we see the highest stage of an evolution, it's not really likely that a Galarian Gloom's going to evolve into Vileplume via Leafstone. But we might see sort of like what we saw with Alolan Vulpix and Alolan Sandshrew. Stone evolutions are connected to regional variants. So it's possible that, the Bellsprout line and Gloom could evolve via Sunstone into something new in Galar.
That would be awesome.
Do I think that a Bellossom Fire Grass is realistic for that? Let's just say we all want it. I've seen it in numerous leaks, which means that a lot of fans want it. In terms of Tangela, the egg move that it got was Wake Up Slap, which, okay, that move's been around for a little while now. It's tied to being able to make the other Pokemon fall asleep for more damage, and it's kind of random. Tangela's not a fighting type. It's getting this fighting type egg move. Yes, Pokemon get various type moves, but why Wake Up Slap?
I mean, I would kind of like to see more done with what's under the vines, or make the vines into a different type. I know there's a ton of poison grass already, but like if they were poison ivy vines and it had this cool new ability, I don't know. Something could be.
For as many poison grass Pokemon as there are, I don't know that there's a physical poison grass Pokemon. And, if it kept Regenerator or poison grass Tangrowth, that could be pretty beastly.
Is Tangela a physical fighter?
Tangrowth can be, yeah.
Tangrowth can be.
Moving on, Johto. The Johto Pokemon who got new egg moves who are not in Alola include Sentret, Hoppip, Girafarig, and Phanpy. So in those Pokemon, I know a lot of people are talking about Phanpy getting a new evolution.
Would love to see that.
Yeah, the egg move that it got was High Horsepower. It's a ground type move. Donphan arguably better off with Earthquake. However, Ponyta got High Horsepower, and look what Ponyta, 24-hour
Also
reveal,
true.
all around Ponyta. So it's possible that Phanpy will be getting a new form.
I would love to see Ground Fairy as well for that. Another new typing.
I mean, that's a good argument. In Alola, a lot of the new Pokemon were new typings. You know, we saw the first iterations of Ice Steel and Ice Fairy in Sandshrew and Vulpix evolution lines.
And then we got Poison Fairy, Galarian Weezing recently.
Which kind of argues that they're continuing the trend of introducing new type pairings through these new regional variants. In terms of Girafarig, that's a Pokemon that a lot of fans have been hoping for an evolution for. A lot of people, you know, the lore of Girafarig talks about its tail having a mind of its own. And it would be really interesting to see if they went with a Grass Dark type or even Grass. Did I say Grass? I meant Psychic Dark. Or Psychic Ghost. Something around those lines if they're going to introduce a new type. For a non-legendary, Psychic Ghost would be a cool one to add.
I agree.
In terms of Hoppip, Strength Sap, it's the third Pokemon on the list to get Strength Sap, a Generation 7 move. I don't really see Hoppip getting a new form, but I'd be excited to see it.
I also don't know if we're going to get Jumpluff if we already have Eldegoss. I feel like their designs are very similar already.
Kind of like a Cotton Puff.
Exactly. So I'm not convinced about that one.
We'll have to see. And then the last one was Sentret. It got Baby Doll Eyes. It's one of several Pokemon that got Baby Doll Eyes in Generation 7. I could see Sentret becoming a physical fairy normal type.
I feel like if we have Linoon, we probably won't get Furret.
Sentret and Furret. I'm kind of thinking, though, you know, if they gave Rattata in a Alolan form, and if they gave Zigzagoon in a Galarian form, maybe it's not Sentret's time to get a regional form, but it's really likely that they're going to take those Route 1 basic Pokemon and keep buffing them up with new variants.
Agreed.
So let's move on to Hone. Hone, we already know, has Zigzagoon. Its Route 1 variant is already going to become a dark normal type, and not only that, it has that cool new regional evolution of Obstagoon. Great design, arguably not a good type. Other Pokemon that also got egg moves that were not in Alola include Whismur, who got Whirlwind. Plusle and Minun also got Baby Doll Eyes. Volbeat and Illumise. Volbeat got Lunge, and Illumise got Aromatherapy. And then the last one from Hone who got a new egg move is Chimecho. And Chimecho got, I believe, Crafty Shield, and I know that it got Perish Song. Chimecho, pure psychic type in its original variation.
I would love to see Whismur get a Galarian form with some sort of either Pixelate or, what's the other one, Refrigerate, where it can turn that
sound-based, like Hyper Voice, into a new type. That's a really cool idea. I kind of like the idea of it becoming a pure flying type. You know, we don't have pure flying types other than like Tornadus. And to give a three-stage form, Aerolate, Whismur into Exploud, like maybe a cloud-based design. I'm not really sure.
So I wonder how that would look.
I know. It doesn't really match the name, but then again, let's think about Sandshrew into a Lowland Sandshrew. The name doesn't make sense no matter how you spin it.
Fair.
It's ice, but it's still called Sandshrew. So those are the Hone Pokemon who might get a Galarian form. And let's go on to Generation 4 Sinnoh. A lot of buzz around Sinnoh remakes. You know, Sinnoh, it had a lot of old generations in it. So it's pretty comparable to Galar in terms of the number of Gen 1 Pokemon in it. And just previous generations. That was one where they brought a ton back and then they gave evolutions and baby forms again, which hadn't really been done since Gen 2. In Sinnoh, the Pokemon who had egg moves added in Gen 7 and were not in the region include Bidoof, Pachirisu, Cherubi, Spiritomb, and Carnivine. What do you think of that list? Which one would be on your wish list?
Oh, Gen 4. I don't know. What do you
Personally,
think?
I kind of like this idea of Carnivine becoming like a grass dragon,
I would like something
or maybe
different to be
grass
done
dark.
with Carnivine.
I mean, it's got those legs that just sort of like
Its
kind of
design for
creep
me
me
was
out.
kind of a flop. I don't know.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of people who stand Carnivine and who would come up
Sorry,
to bat
guys.
for it, but I think that Carnivine could do with a new form, a new look, and maybe even an evolution to sort of buff up and give it a chance competitively. Pachirisu, I love it, super thing all the way. There's one rumor out there, a rumored leak that it gets fighting type. I could see an electric fighting type, and I could also see it given to, one of those rodent Pokemon. They seem to like to introduce new types on the rodents. In Gen 6, we saw Fairy Electric on Dedenne.
True.
In Gen 7, no, Gen 8, we already have seen Morpeko gets Electric Dark. So they like to give those rodents sort of like mediocre
Yeah,
stats with a
Togedemaru
good niche.
with Electric Steel.
Electric Steel, we saw Magnemite.
Oh yeah.
But it was the first physical, right? The first physical Electric Steel.
True.
So that's also a consideration. Sometimes we see the first iteration of a physical versus special attacker for a typing. So that's it for Sinnoh. Thinking about Generation 5 and Unova, we've seen a lot of the Pokemon on this list already in their regular forms. However, I'm still going to go over what there is because there is a rumor buzzing around about Blitzel, and I love Deerling, so I'd love to see it get a new regional variant. So the Pokemon who got a new egg move in Generation 7, but were not even catchable, include Patrat, Pansage, Panseer, Blitzel, Timber, Timpole, Darumaka, Yamask, Deerling, Joltik, Shelmet, Buffalant, and Dino, the little dark dragon.
Love Yamask.
I think Yamask would be cool. A lot of these Pokemon, like I said, are already in region, and it's hard for me to imagine Yamask and its evolution in the region as is. It's very Egyptian looking. Granted, it wasn't in an Egyptian region before. Just doesn't look very Galar.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked if it made it into Galar. I think.
Yeah, I think the argument here are these Pokemon getting egg moves simply because they were being considered in type balance and move pools for the new game, or were they being considered for how they might change when they enter Galar in a new form?
I mean, this is a stretch, but do you think that Yamask could be like, I don't even know, like have like a knight's armor that it kind of
interesting
inhabits, and it gets
so as
to go
opposed
steal?
to being in like a sarcophagus, being
Right.
instead. Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, that's a stretch, but
But it would be a cool one. What typing would you
also
give it?
Sarcophagus wouldn't really make much sense again, but
I could see probably Ghost Steel if that was what it were to become.
I think
we
Steel.
already have Aegislash.
I think so too.
It would probably need a new ability because it's one of those Pokemon with a gimmick ability in Mummy, where if you hit it, your ability becomes Mummy,
Right.
which is a good ability. I mean, it neutralizes opponents. Other Pokemon on that list that we've already seen in the game include Timpole's evolution Seismitoad. We've also seen Girder, Timber's evolution, and I think there were more. We've also seen Joltik's evolution, and we've also seen Dino. He's a version exclusive this time.
It'd be really cool to see Timber maybe carrying a tree or something, and it gets grass fighting, another grass fighting like Breloom. We haven't had one since, right?
Yeah, I think one thing that a lot of fans are doing right now is they're being pretty definitive. If we see a Pokemon, its evolution must be in the game and it must be in its original form. But, Cubone, Pikachu, they evolved into new forms in Alola, but they were in their regular Cantonian forms.
Yep.
And, yeah, so what? We've seen Girder, we've seen Timber, but it doesn't mean that there can't also be exclusives or virgins. Regional variants in different parts of the same region. Like, think about Gastrodon. Depending on what side of Sinnoh you caught it on, it looked completely different. And who's to say that they won't make that a type difference, too?
Also true.
Who knows? Grass fighting, yeah, Chestnut, we see you, Breloom. There's other grass fightings, but...
Oh, yeah, Chestnut.
Well, Breloom. You also have Virizion. There's a
Oh,
bunch,
wow.
but
I forgot a lot.
well, there's not a special attacker.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be Timber.
Okay, point proven. We're done there. So those are the Pokemon from Unova who fit the pattern, but I don't really see any of them getting Galarian forms. If I had to bet, I wouldn't bet on any of them.
Same.
For me, I would say that generations 1 through 3 is really where we're going to see the most Galarian forms. So keep an eye on, my favorites being Volbeat, Illumise, Tangela, Girafarig. Those are all Pokemon I would love to see Galarian forms from that list. How about you? What are your top 3? Well, we already know you want the Bellossom evolution.
I do want Bellossom. It would be cool to see something done to the Bellsprout line.
Yeah.
What was the Gen 2?
There were Sentret, Hoppip, Girafarig, Phanpy. Oh, Phanpy.
Phanpy, I would love to see something done to that. And then, well, there's just a Pokemon not on the list. I would love justice for Dugong. No.
There's no data to support that Seal's going to get it. It's not part of the theory. It's just, at this point, a wish list.
A fire water type would be pretty cool. And it was in the beta leak. That fire water seal.
There was a
thing.
seal that was fire water in the beta leak. But given that that's not part of this theory, that's something we can talk about more in another video.
Fine.
One more thing that we wanted to talk about was, in order to sort of promote this channel and then also to get people buzzing about Pokemon Sword and Shield, is we're going to host our own Pokrates Pokemon Sword and Shield giveaway league. So kind of like the Pokemon League, we're going to have a series of questions for you to answer in a Google form. And what you can do with that is win reimbursement for your copy of Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Lila's snoring so bad.
Lilo's our own little Snorlax.
Wake up, baby.
But anyways, details about the giveaway include, we'll be tweeting out a link. It'll be in the description of this video. You can fill out the Google form. To enter, what you're going to need to do is to follow Pokrates on Twitter, link below, on Instagram. Also, you're going to need to subscribe to this channel. And that's all you need to do. You need to submit the Google form, and then you'll be entered for a chance to win your own reimbursement of your copy. So it's pretty good. It's a $60 value.
Pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. We really hope you enjoyed this. Please give us a like and a subscribe below. And, well, hopefully we can get this thing rolling.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
See you next time.